Stackhouse, sophisticated storage. In this video, we will show you how to assemble your Butler series Tandem pantry. Before you begin assembly, please make sure to read the assembly manual thoroughly, as it contains important safety warnings and assembly tips. Please note that there are some steps in the assembly process that might require two people to help with the assembly. The interior large baskets have a maximum 50 kilogram weight limit, and the smaller door baskets have a maximum 25 kilogram weight limit. Butler series Tandem pantry is available in multiple lengths and heights. Before installation, carefully study the manual and choose the suitable size of cabinet according to the actual item. Start the assembly by checking the parts list. Check the assembly for the following hardware. Verify that the following parts are included with your assembly. The following tools are recommended for this installation. Step 1. Assembling the L-shaped sliders. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 1 by locating the L bracket, part M, and the slider rack, part K. Push part M and secure it to part K using two part A screws. Tighten the screws using a Phillips screwdriver. Take care not to over-tighten the screws. Next, slide the slider track section of part K so that it's attached to the slider rack as shown. Repeat these steps for one more set and assemble the left assembly. Step 1 is now complete. Step 2. Installing the body frame. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 2 by locating the L-shaped assemblies that were previously assembled in step 1 and place wide enough to fit the body frame width. Next, locate the part S body frame and place it in between both L-shaped assemblies. Hold the part S body frame in place and secure the body frame to the L-shaped assemblies using 4 part C bolts, 2 on each side. Push the bolts through the body frame and tighten the bolts using a Phillips screwdriver. Take care not to over-tighten the bolts. Repeat these steps for the opposite side. Next, locate the upper right corner of the body frame and attach the roller guide part T. Matching the holes, push and secure part T to the body frame using 2 part B bolts. Tighten the bolts using a Phillips screwdriver. Step 2 is now complete. Step 3. Installing the guideway. For this step, you will require the following parts. 2 people will be required for this step. Begin step 3 by locating the part O guideway and line it up to the inner right-hand side of the cabinet. Install the guideway on the right-hand side if you wish to open the door from left to right, and if you wish to open the cabinet door from right to left, then you will need to install the guideway on the left side of the cabinet. The guideway should be installed with the following dimensions. The height of the installation varies per size of unit purchased. Once the measurements have been verified and marked, align the guideway to the marked locations. Secure part O to the cabinet using 3 part F screws. Tighten the screws using a power drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Repeat these steps and fully tighten all screws. Next, locate the part I bearing supports. Depending on the size of your unit, you might require 2 or 3 bearing supports. Place the supports using the following measurements. The distance between the part I supports depends on the unit size. Secure part I to the cabinet using 2 part H screws each. Tighten the screws using a power drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Repeat these steps for the remaining bearing supports. Next, locate the cabinet door with hinges and mount it onto the edge of the cabinet as shown. Holding the door in place, secure the hinges to the cabinet using a total of 8 Part F screws, 2 for each hinge. Tighten the screws using a power drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Repeat these steps for the remaining hinges and screws. Until all hardware has been tightly secured. Step 3 is now complete. Step 4. Using the drill plate. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 4 by locating the drilling plate Part U. Next, place the Part U plate on the bottom right side of the cabinet back edge. This will be used as a guide as to where holes will be drilled. Using the drilling plate as reference, drill a total of 12 2.5mm holes, 6 holes per side, using a power drill with a 2.5mm drill bit. Repeat these steps for the opposite side and drill 6 more holes. After drilling all holes, remove and place aside the template. Step 4 is now complete. Step 5. Installing the frame to the cabinet. For this step, you will require the following parts. 2 people will be required for this step. Begin step 5 by locating the previously assembled frame from step 2. Slowly push and line up the frame inside the cabinet. Align the frame to the inner, upper right-hand corner rail section of the previously installed guideway and slide into place. After the frame is in place, verify that the lower section of the frame lines up with the previously drilled holes. Once the frame is aligned accordingly, secure the frame to the cabinet using 12 Part F screws, 6 on each side. Tighten the screws using a power drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Take care not to over-tighten the screws. Repeat these steps for the opposite side and drill 6 more holes. Verify that the frame is properly secured by sliding the frame back and forth to ensure that there is no misalignment or unwanted motion. Once the frame is adjusted for a tight fit, step 5 is now complete. Step 6. Preparing the door frame. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 6 by locating the bottom left side of the door frame, Part R. Next, locate 1 Part Q connected fitting and 1 filling piece, Part P, and attach them both to the bottom of the door frame as shown. Depending on the desired orientation for your the door frame can be installed to open on the left-hand side or can be opened on the right-hand side. Step 6 is now complete. Step 7. Installing the door frame. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 7 by locating 2 Part J slider covers. Push the covers inside and place 1 on each side underneath the main frame. Push and slide both covers until they lock in place. Next, locate the fully assembled door frame assembly from the previous step and place it on the inner edge of the cabinet door. Tilt, align and slide the connecting fittings of the door frame so that it matches up with the previously installed bearing supports. Make sure that all attachments between the door frame and the bearing supports are properly secured. Next, locate 2 Part J root guideways. Slide the guideway on each corner of the door frame with the flat face facing the cabinet door. Secure the root guideways to the corners shown using a total of 8 part G screws, 4 for each root guideway. Tighten the screws using a power drill with a Phillips head drill bit. Tighten the remaining screws. Repeat these steps for the remaining screws. Verify that the parts and hardware are secure by closing and opening the door to ensure that there is no misalignment. Step 7 is now complete. Step 8. Installing the connecting bar. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 8 by locating the part end connecting bars. Start with the upper bar. Align the connecting bar with the mounting locations on the door frame and body frame. Next, secure the connecting bar using 2 part D shafts, 2 part E bolts, and 2 part Y nuts on each end of the bar. First, insert the part D shaft, followed by the bolt and the nut. Tighten the hardware using a Phillips screwdriver and use a wrench to hold tight the nut. Repeat these steps for the opposite side. Finally, repeat these steps for the bottom bar. Step 8 is now complete. Step 9. Installing the baskets. For this step, you will require the following parts. Begin step 9 by locating the large internal basket. Starting with the top, insert the basket by tilting it to the side and slowly push it into place. Simply attach the large baskets to the frame by having the baskets sit and hang directly above the connectors. Repeat these steps for the remaining baskets as required. Next, install the smaller door baskets to the door frame as shown. There are 2 connection points for the small door baskets. Hang the basket into place. Repeat these steps for the remaining baskets as required. Once the baskets have been installed, open and close the door to ensure everything is properly installed. Congratulations! You have completed the assembly of the Butler Series Tandem Pantry. Before using your new pantry, verify that all hardware is intact and that the rails slide forward and retract without issue in accordance to the owner's manual. Enjoy your new Butler Series Tandem Pantry. Brought to you by Stackhouse, sophisticated storage.